Sexual. Some people are strange, and some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. 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 Some prefer the top, and some prefer the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Sexual. Yeah. Hey, we're not in the 60s, but yet we're talking about the same things. So why are we having these same discussions? It's so interesting that you find it fascinating. Who I'm sleeping with and what I'm doing. Why do we all need these labels? Your character is all that matters to me. You shouldn't let ideology and favors make you stop loving family and friends. Some people are strange. Ooh, yeah. Some people are gay. Ooh, yeah. Maybe I'm just sexual. 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 Some prefer the top, and some prefer the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. Just sexual. Some people are strange. Ooh, yeah. Some people are gay. Oh, yeah. Baby, I'm just sexual. Baby, I'm just sexual. Sexual. Ooh, yeah. Some prefer the top. Some prefer the top. Some prefer the bottom. Some prefer the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why do we all need these labels? Is he gay or straight or somewhere in between? Yeah. Don't let ideology and favors make you treat your brother or your sister differently. Yeah. Some people are strange. Some people are strange. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. Maybe I'm just sexual. Sexual. Just sexual. Some prefer the top. Some prefer the top. Some prefer the bottom. Some prefer the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Sexual. Some people are strange. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. Some people are straight. Baby, I'm just sexual. I'm just sexual, baby. Sexual. I don't need a label. Some prefer the top. Some prefer the top. Some prefer the bottom. But we're all just sexual. I'm just sexual. We're all just sexual. Yeah, yeah. Sexual. 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 Some people are strange. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. All sugar. Baby, I'm just sexual. Does it really matter? Sexual. Does it really matter? Some prefer the top, and some prefer the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. But we're all just sexual. Yeah.
What is going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Y'all, please forgive me. I have a slight little headache. It's been raining heavy as hell here. Okay? God is upset, and I ain't mad at God being upset. Okay? How y'all doing? I hope that y'all are doing well on this Wednesday afternoon. Okay? And I'm excited because we have finally reached the end of the cross in the closet. We have 2 chapters remaining. I'm excited. I've I just feel good that I was able to think about this book and to share this book with you all because I was going to give it a second read through. But I said, you know what? Let me bring it on my channel with all my quirks and my qualms. Now, if I was pre-recording this, oh, everything would be better. I would have read it already. I wouldn't have to cold read it, and I would have been a lot better with my what should I say? Switching up my voices for the characters. Okay, enunciating everything. Because y'all see how I be ricka and rewind it and shit. I do that shit all the time, especially when I used to do my edited content. Baby, it used to take me a while to get things done. But again, with self-love, it's about loving yourself no matter where you are, no matter what you express, just no matter what your reality is. And that's what I'm doing. So again, these are not perfect read-throughs, but I want you to listen to the message. That's the most important thing, okay? Before we jump into the last 2 remaining chapters, of course, y'all, we gotta be smart. We got to dot our I's and cross our T's, okay? Boom. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that otherwise might be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay? Let me go ahead and give Andrew his shit right off the bat.
Hey! Hey, hey!
Okay, so hopefully that will buy me a little bit of time, girl, before the shit starts, okay? But anyway, we are moving on to chapter 34, entitled The Ball Drops. Matter of fact, he might be in this bitch in the beginning because the word ball is in the title, girl. So let me get a sip of water. Ooh-wee. It is New Year's Eve today, and I'm sitting at the bookstore, formerly attached to what was Revive Cafe. See, girl, you're already starting. I'm trying to capture and write down a few of the thousands of thoughts running through my head. It is comforting to be back here, to enjoy the vibe of the bookstore. Although this may be the last day of my year, it is the beginning to something else completely, something new and exciting and real. My experiment has led me around the country and taught me to appreciate the people in my own backyard. Although I will miss my ability to blend into the community, it will be nice to be myself. Fortunately, myself has changed a lot this year. How could I not have? Every day I was confronted with new questions and new answers. I was inspired and encouraged, and as I look out at the bookstore and see people perusing the shelves, I am hopeful that I will be able to show these beautiful people just how much they mean to me. I look over to the registers and see some of my old bosses. They are in good spirits, and I wonder how their view of me will change when they learn that I'm not really gay. Will they be angry? Or will they feel as though they have contributed to changing the life of someone, even though they weren't aware of it at the time? I hope they feel part of something special. The couch I'm sitting on faces the back window, but I hear the small bell attached to the door ring as someone opens it, announcing arrival. The bell hasn't rung much since I've been here, but it's New Year's Eve, so I doubt it will much at all today. I wish you could see this place. I wish you could experience it the way I have experienced it. I wish you could understand the impact that this little establishment has had on me and all that I've learned while I was here. It is fitting that I am spending my last hours before the party tonight writing at this little store on Church Street. It is a stone's throw away from the places I've spent countless nights from this little neighborhood that I have called home for a year now. The bell of the door rings again, and I hear the familiar voices of Scott and Jason. They are in the middle of a conversation, but they stop and greet me as soon as they see me. "Looking sexy, handsome," Jason says, pinching my butt while he hugs me. Scott laughs at him and ignores the flirtation. "How you guys been?" I ask. "We've been doing all right. We're here with some friends from out of town who have been staying with us. Our house is clothing optional." Scott winks at me. "You should really come over," Jason says. "Alas, I've already got plans, but we'll have to hang out soon. I have a lot to tell you too," I say, dreading the thought of what they might think of me when it's all over. "Sounds like a plan," Scott says, giving me a kiss on the cheek. "Sure you don't want to ring in the new year with us?" I kiss his cheek and smile. Would that I could. Would that I could. "Okay, kid. We love you," Scott says, sighing. "And we miss you terribly," Jason adds. "I've missed you guys too. A lot. You have no idea what you two mean to me." I feel teary-eyed and nostalgic. "Just know that no matter what, I love you both." "I love you too, Tim," Scott says thoughtfully. "And I love you more." Jason hugs me, and I smack his butt as we separate. "Ooh, saucy," he says, winking. I sit back down on the couch and take a deep breath. Is this moment possible? Am I really going to miss being thought of as gay as much as I think I will do? See, Andrew? Am I really going to miss being thought of as gay as much as I think I will this moment? I think I will, but only because of the relationships I have been able to have because of it. The sad fact in life is that labels really do divide us. They seem to dictate, in no uncertain terms, how we relate to each other as people. Labels serve as a barometer of sorts, how comfortable we will be in each other's presence, and I do not think I'll ever be as comfortably received again as I have been this year. I may be an ally, but that is just another label. After another hour of writing, I pack my things and put on my coat. I say goodbye to my old managers. I'm about to say old man. I say goodbye to my old managers and make my way to the door. It's a moment I have thought about for a long time, a moment I pondered as I walked under the blue-gray sky of Nashville, and it is every bit surreal as I dreamed it would be. I look back around the bookstore and take a deep breath. The door's opening rings the bell, and I feel content. I did all that I could here, and I let the place change me. Hey, Queen Amber. Cold air meets my skin, and I shiver. See you later, Church Street. You've been a wonderful teacher. An hour passes before I arrive at the party at my brother and sister-in-law's home. It is the first party of theirs I am attending since we've reconciled in October, and it seems fitting to know that as clock strikes midnight, I will be with the same people I was last year at this time. Oh, wow. Everything has come full circle. I am happy that my brother and I are a part of each other's lives again. I park the car and look over at the Pharisees, who shows no sign of leaving. It's been a year since you started this crazy thing. It's been life-changing. You've successfully become an apostate. Oh, no, no, no. I've finally become a Christ follower. But things aren't ending the way they should be ending. Why is that? Because of you. You're still here. Yes, I am. You want me to leave? I want you out of my life forever. And after seeing the things we've seen, how can you still be here? That's a good question. I'll be here until I can't be here anymore. I get out of the car and grab my things. This year has left me feeling emotionally constipated. Will things be different come midnight? Will anything be different tomorrow or the next day? I hope so, but I cannot say for certain. The walkway to the front door is slick, but I make it to the door without slipping. Before I even knock, Maureen answers. She hugs me, and I see 2 glasses of wine on the table. "How are you?" she asks. "Good. I'm ready for midnight." "I bet." Andrew comes out of the bathroom and gives me a big hug. "How's your day been?" "It was good. Really very good. I spent the last few hours on Church Street. It wasn't easy." He nods his head in understanding. Things with my brother have gotten better lately. It was encouraging that he allowed me to share my pictures of the past 12 months with him. It showed me that he was trying to understand, and trying is all I can ever ask of anyone. "Well, what's the next step?" he asks casually. "I've got to come out of the closet." "How do you think people will take it?" "I think most of my friends will react positively. There are a few I'm worried about. Well, 3 people specifically. What's up, Queen Spicy? And yes, the finale." "You scared?" Maureen says. "Definitely afraid of hurting someone. I'm afraid of hurting someone and losing my friends." As the hour passes, people begin showing up. They are the typical eclectic, bunch that usually appears at my brother's parties. High school friends, college friends, church friends, couples, singles, family. And while spirits are high, everyone looks at me hesitantly, knowing that my relationship with my brother has been strained. Does it bother me? No. I've been in more stressful situations in the past 18 months than these people can fathom. This is a party, and nothing stands a chance of flustering me more than the prospect of my re-entry into the label of straight. I am doing good, Queen Amber. Just got a little headache, but we making it through. And yes, Queen Donna B, yes, Grand Rising, Grand Smoking, okay? I haven't written about it, but my first day at Revive Cafe, I purchased a necklace and have been wearing it ever since. It is a silver dog tag with a pride flag on it, and a second dog tag with the bear organization. Okay, now he was a bear, bitch. Darker color pride flag. The Bears are an organization of burly gay men that socialize and raise money for charity. While I was a barista, I became a bear cub, and I got the second tag to add to the necklace. I have been wearing both silver dog tags around my neck all year, and they feel like part of my body. While I stand at my brother's side and talk with the various people coming and going, every few seconds I trace the outline of the necklace around my neck, and think fondly of all the memories I've made this year. The clock strikes 11 o'clock, and I am taking everything in. I want to be present every second I have left. I want to know the feeling of turning the key to my inner closet and letting straight Tim out again. I want to celebrate, the ability to be who I am. As I think about how life will change, I hope it never goes back to how it was before. I am acutely aware and thankful for everything that being who I am means. It is empowering to know yourself and to be yourself, no matter how that affects your life with others. And that is something I have learned to appreciate this year. My first coming out was daunting because I was going into the closet. This time around, I gained the freedom of being me. When someone comes out as gay, it is a pinnacle moment in their life. It is the moment when the decision is made to be who they know they are and to let the chips fall as they may. Will they face persecution from the mainstream? Of course. Will they risk relationships, friendships, and their standing in the family? Probably. But what good are those things if you cannot be honestly you? It takes courage to declare that you know yourself and that you do not care who else knows it because you know it. And I admire that courage. It also takes a incalculable strength to live in the closet, and that is part of the journey too. I would have not been able to live in the closet longer than I did. I am weak. My heart goes out to all of those who are not able to be open and honest about who they are for fear of what they will lose. I long for the day this issue is obsolete. The day that my friends do not have to feel like their lives are political. I long for the day when equal rights isn't a campaign issue. When the news won't run front page stories about celebrities and news anchors coming out of the closet. Then maybe, just maybe, our focus will be on something meaningful, something we can eradicate for the better, like the sex trade or poverty or AIDS or homelessness. The countdown starts in 1 minute, and I hold my necklace in my right hand and a glass of champagne in my left. Nigga, where's the blunt in this bitch? Everyone is hunkered around the television, watching the ball drop in Times Square, and I think fondly of my time walking through Manhattan. I think of Soul Force. Hey, King Aries, hey. Excuse me. I think of Soul Force. Where am I at, girl? Yes, I think of Soul Force, of Memphis, of Revive Cafe, and of my softball team, P3. I think of Sean and Phil, Ben, Scott, Jason, Will, and Miss Angela. I think of Mel White and Elizabeth and Nicole. I think of everyone, and I wonder what they are doing at this very moment. I also think of Patrick and his judgments, and of the Phelps family. One is probably open air preaching right now, and the others are probably picketing some televised event saying that, God hates all of us. I think of Samantha and Matthew, and I think of Brent. think of Jesus in drag, and I say a silent prayer of thanks for her. I think of all the people and faces that have become so powerful and beautiful in my life. The mental collage of inspiration that has made me a better man. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The seconds passed like hours last year at this time. But time passes normally this time around. And then the host shouts, "Happy New Year!" And the camera pans to the Times Square, Okay, Andrew. Okay, girl. Okay, girl. You want a little acknowledgement, girl. I know you be getting talked about a lot, girl, and I'm gonna do my shade too, girl. But let me give you yours. Come on.
That's one thing. And
You wanted it,
Okay.
and you got it.
Okay, girl, you got it. You good? You good at it? Because you got it, okay? And the camera pans to Times Square where billions of confetti pieces rain down upon the thousands gathered for the festivities. Everyone in the room begins kissing, hugging, and wishing each other a Happy New Year. But I stay in the background by the kitchen. I silently take a sip of my champagne and reverently takes off my necklace. And reverently take off my necklace. I don't have a girl to kiss this New Year, but I do not need one. I kiss the pride flag on my dog tag and thank God for the things and people He has shown me. I hear my brother next to me. Everyone, I'd like to raise a toast in this New Year's moment to my little brother and to the fact that he's made it through a very interesting experiment. To Tim, straight once more. Everyone laughs and raises their glass, toasting me. Anyone who hadn't heard about my experiment by this moment in the party did when my brother toasted me. But they aren't who I am worried about coming out to. Oh no. The ones that I am will know soon enough. I look over at the Pharisees and he raises his glass. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. I take a minute and walk outside to smoke. Girl, these damn cigarettes. I'm gonna say a blunt, girl, because it's the end. So, girl, I'm gonna remix it and smoke a blunt, okay? A joint, something of the herb. I need to be alone. I need to be alone because the biggest limitation of my journey just made itself evident. I think back to my brother's toast, to Tim straight once more, and the laughs and cheers I received. Everybody will automatically accept me back. I am straight Tim, and my orientation is no longer a social stigma. None of my other friends will be so lucky. No one else is afforded this luxury. My experiment lasted a year. Their revelations regulate them to a much different fate. We aren't a country of equals. I wonder where I would be right now if I hadn't gone through with my year. What would I be doing? What would I believe? Who would I be? I'll never know. And I am glad to never know. This year has been the most transformative of my young life. I take a few moments to celebrate the passing of the old year into the new, but the excitement is quickly replaced by a solemn realization. Before I can truly celebrate, I have to come out again. And this time, I have far more to lose. And y'all, that's the end of chapter 30. Chapter 34, excuse me. Y'all, you have to bear with me. Bear with me, okay? Chapter 34, entitled The Ball Drops, okay? And we got one chapter left before we are done. I cannot believe it, y'all. We are almost, we are, girl, the finishing line is like 5 more strides, baby. Well, you know what? I think we'll read the is it called epilogue or epilogue? I think it's epilogue. We'll read the epilogue at the end, girl. So we really got 2 things, but officially 1 more chapter left. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of us. Okay, I'm so grateful for the individuals who came in, whether you peeked in for a little bit, whether you stayed through, whether you laughed at my Andrew Caldwell isms, girl. They be coming out sometimes. No matter what the situation is, I am grateful and I am thankful. Because the scripture reads, girl, when 2 or 3 are gathered together, girl. All I need is 2 or 3. I don't need all the motherfuckers in here, girl. Because everybody ain't going to listen. I just want the ones that are going to listen. And the ones that are going to listen, girl, are the ones that come into my chat that support me every time I'm live. And I'm so appreciative of y'all. Thank y'all so much for loving on me. Because in this whole thing of self-love that I've been doing, baby, I've been learning how to love on me, but also learning how to let others love on me. And I still have a long way to go with that. But the fact that y'all come through and y'all support me in all of its expressions, I really fuck with y'all for that. Thank y'all so much. And baby, we only going up from here, girl. We've already hit the ground floor, bitch, and I'm already choked. So, you know, my ass is lower to the ground than some of y'all. The only way now is up. And thank God the universe is upgrading a leprechaun with an extended ladder. Okay? It hit stores in 2030, girl, and I got it in 2023. Ikarabu Shande Ishkatai, girl. Come on, Andrew. Yes, for the da-da-da-da-da. Iskaro-da-da-da-da. And I can make fun of his tongues, girl, because his tongues don't even work, girl. He having flashbacks, bitch, when a motherfucker was eating it from the back, girl. That's what he be doing, girl. With his eyes closed, driving his rental on the road, girl. Ain't nobody died yet, girl. Maybe he got a little bit of power, girl, we don't know about. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Girl. We're going to take a quick break. Okay? And we will be back in a few to read the final chapter entitled The Beginning, girl. Full circle, and we back at the beginning, bitch. But it's a brand new way of viewing it. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, girl. And when you finish strong, you can start strong again. Ikarabu Shande Ishkatai Pookie. I'll be right back. Give me a few.
Sexual. Some people are strange, and some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. 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 Something for the top, and something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Sexual. Yeah. Hey, we're not in the 60s, but yet we're talking about the same things. So why are we having these same discussions? It's so interesting that you find it fascinating. Who I'm sleeping with and what I'm doing. Why do we all need these labels? Your character is all that matters to me. You shouldn't let ideology invade us. Make you stop loving family and friends. Some people are strange. Ooh, yeah. Some people are gay.
right, y'all. I need them to get that fade and shit together. That's a horrible ass, bang chopped ass fade. It's like a dry ass Bootsy fade, girl. We need some lubrication or something in it. Okay, it'd be like, girl, somebody pull the plug. Aries said, "Oh my God, imagine if he is having gay sex. He might not have emotional attachment towards men, but sexual attraction might still be there. Sex doesn't mean make you gay." You talking about as far as the protagonist of the story or the person in the book, Tim? If so, he don't have any sexual attraction to men. There was a chapter we just read, I think yesterday, where he wished he could be gay to give this man who's pretend to be his boyfriend for this whole experiment what he really deserves, and he couldn't. So I don't know, but there are some men. Listen, what did B Slade just say, baby? We just sexual. That'd be the real reality, girl. We are human beings. We're overly sexual. That's the problem. We don't have any healthy balance. We're overly sexual, but nonetheless, we're sexual. So, of course, there are some men look at whole as a whole. Okay? And baby, no shade, girl. I'm only interested in hold on a one gender. No shade. I'm just saying. Talking about for me. Talking about for me, okay? I ain't buy all these goddamn ladders and shit for nothing. All right, y'all, and now we're getting to, yes, Donna B. Oh, you don't know that. Is he missing that guy? Is for something. I mean, well, if we're going to take it outside the book, what you're saying could be a possibility. I mean, I have to do more research on Timothy and kind of see what he's up to now, which will be very interesting for me to do. But I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. Because trust me, I've heard the stories you told me. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Let's get down to this final chapter. Chapter 35, The Beginning. And yes, I said beginning. Because if Andrew called me, want to ride out through this last chapter, girl, come through. I'm a gag if you don't, girl. Now when I give Andrew Caldwell energy to the fucking energy to be accountable, girl, why some motherfucker not show up? I like to think of my few days back out of the closet with the image of a space shuttle getting ready for to re-enter orbit after a prolonged stint in space. The long mission was successful, and the shuttle was returning back to the place where it can be repaired and cleaned up, where the astronauts can rest. But that metaphor works best because re-entering the atmosphere is the most dangerous leg of the mission after taking off. After taking off. I will be re-entering through people via the lie I have told them or allowed them to believe. I only hope they will understand. January 1st is a different monster this time around. Much like last year, I go first to a cafe on West End to meet up with Josh. I think of this time last year when I was being driven to Josh's house as an emotional basket case. It was a first step into an alien world. I go to the cafe knowing I might even see a few people who I'll have to break the news to. It is a daunting thought, but I have to resist the urge to cower from it. The Bible says the truth shall set us free. And while I have been set free from who I was, I have to make that final descent in order to come to terms with the means by which I entered this experiment. Girl, you gotta go to hell, girl. Excuse me. I have received positive responses during the first 2 days after coming out straight. Angela, my retired transgender runaway model friend, told me that she felt I had done God's work. And in light of her being a mystic who does not believe in any particular God, come through, mystic. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's the shit I'm on. Her desire to speak in language that is important to me meant a lot. Several other friends from the bar were shocked but adjusted quickly. After sharing my background with them a little bit more, they were happy that I did what I did. My LGBT friends in Memphis, especially Beth, who is still mostly in the closet, was so encouraged and overjoyed about my revelation that they could barely contain their excitement. When I asked them why they were so positive, after I had lied to them, they told me that it was a beautiful thing to know an ally who actually attempted to understand. Oh, wait, let me give Andrew, come on, Andrew. Matter of fact, hold on, let me give you this, one of the Felt Family lookalike chicks. Hold on.
In the name of Jesus, you be made whole by the power of God.
I had to do that last part for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay? Pow, pow, bow, bow, bow. Excuse me. My LGBT friends in Memphis. Oh, let me read that again. I'm supposed to read that again. Sorry, girl. I'm getting ahead of myself. Girl. Where was I at? Okay. When I asked them why they were so positive after I had lied to them, they told me that it was a beautiful thing to know an ally who actually attempted to understand. I'm gonna put a pin in that. I'm gonna put a pin in that real quick, because no shade. I have been paying attention to these YouTube streets, and over the past few months, I've seen people who call themselves ally fail in the process of being an ally. And I want my queer brothers and sisters to understand this. This is a telltale way that somebody is an ally, or the way I like to look at it, an accomplice at this damn point, is someone who is actually attempting to understand. When people start saying, oh, they a motherfucking ally, this is the point in time to really, once again, like he said, the truth will set you free. And that's from the book. So if you're really an ally, you're going to prove that you're an ally. That's where a lot of people get fucked up at, because they think it's just as long as I say it, as long as I give lip service. No. That'd be the problem. It'd be lip service only. Christ talked about marrying your mind and your heart together. That's how you manifest, baby. That's how things manifest, from the internal to the external world, girl. From the inside to the outside, girl. And people be half-assing it. We need alignment, girl. No shade. It was a humbling series of conversations. Samantha Hasty, Mel's assistant, who also was more than accepting. Samantha Hasty, Mel's assistant, was also more than accepting. Not only did she accept me, we have become even closer. Now I know why you flirt with me, she said with a laugh. I know she will be a lifelong friend. Hell yeah, man. Said, don't fail me now. I gotta turn this straight but gay but straight nigga out. Steve, a friend from the bar who I hung out with on Wednesday afternoons and in the coffee shop most days, was shocked. As I told him, I braced myself for my first real taste of anger from someone I never wanted to hurt. So, Are you going to be writing about me and about our conversations or any of the times I tried to flirt with you? He asked me. Steve, anything we talked about is between me and you. I am not writing an expose, I promise. My response seemed to satisfy his concern, and after an hour on the phone, he made it clear that he still very much wants to be friends with me. Thank goodness. I would like to write about every conversation and moment I share with people in the weeks after my reentry, but that would be another book's worth of chapters, and we need that book. Bring it out in 2023, please. Needless to say, I learned a lot from my friends after the fact, too. And it was all worth it in the end. Every moment of discomfort and every moment of humility. Not one of my gay friends rejected me for lying to them. The more skeptical of them just asked me questions. But by the end of these conversations, they were content with everything they had heard. Some bought me drinks, and some made me buy them drinks. I know that's right, bitch. Come on, dear. I know that's right. They were smart. They said, bitch, girl, you used me for an experiment, and I didn't even know. You gonna give me something. You gonna give me something. Okay? Some asked me if I would ever consider switching teams for a night. Where you at, Aries? Here go your part in the chapter. I am screaming. Just to give it a try. If you've read and he got this in quotations, girl, just so people know. If you read the preceding chapters, it probably won't be too hard to figure out who. Oh, y'all want to take a guess in the comments who it was that wanted to have a one night with the king for the Christians, girl. Only for one night, I said, still in love. Girl, what's the name said it's morning. Oh my God. And to them, well, I politely declined the offer. Now, bitch, if you present me with an ounce of motherfucking weed, girl, and it's some good Zaza, I might think about it. I didn't say I was gonna do it. I said I might contemplate it. And in the end, there are only 3 people I have had a hard time finding the courage to tell. They are the 3 people whom I am the most worried will be hurt by my news. Until I talk to them, I still feel like I am in the closet. Telling them is the only thing left to do before I start the new chapter of my life. But for some reason, I can't bring myself to tell Will or Phil. And I'm especially afraid to tell Ben. These 3 guys, in addition to Sean, have been my mainstay friends from the neighborhood. And all 3 of them have been seriously taken advantage of and wounded in the name of Christ. Hell, I was one of the Christians who hurt Will before all of this, harassing him after he came out. What would I do if I told these 3 friends and they didn't want to be my friend anymore? How can I live with myself knowing that I might be just one more person who caused them harm? I simply cannot move forward with my life until they know. If I hear shit in the background, it's my old ass computer chair. Girl. The mirror in the bathroom at my dad's house reflects the image of a young man, well dressed for the night, but as nervous as I have ever seen him. It has been a little over 12 months since I felt this nervous, and I still don't know how to cope with it. I guess all that is left to do is leave. My car's engine roars to life as I turn the key in the ignition, and before I can second guess my decision, I am already on the road to Tribe. The Pharisee sits in the passenger seat, eyeing me with curiosity. I pull into the parking lot behind Tribe, shaking. I know everyone is inside. Except for 2 slow afternoons, this is the first time I have been here in a month. I have missed this place, missed the ambiance and the crowd. It really did become a home while I adopted the label of gay. I walked to the smaller bar in the second room to order a beer. I walked to the smaller bar in the second room to order a beer for Will, who runs over and hugs me as soon as he sees me. "How are you doing? It's been a while," he says. "I'm doing well, trying to decide if I want to move in the next few months." "Oh my God, I'm so jealous. Let me get you that beer and we'll talk about it," he says, retreating to the taps where he fills a pint glass with my usual. Excuse me. He places the beer in front of me and I take a sip, nervously deciding how I am going to tell him. I am so nervous. In fact, that my sip drains most of the glass. Damn, nigga, you swallowing. Maybe you need to take that offer since your throat working like that. Whoa there, you okay? Will asks with a smile. Will, we need to talk about something. I take a deep breath. Are you okay? He asks again. I'm okay. I try to compose myself. Well, you know how I was before I came out? How, dogmatically I tried to get in touch with you when you came out? Yeah. A few months after that, I felt convicted by how I acted towards you. And because of a situation I had with another friend who came out, I realized I needed to question what I have believed all my life. So I tried to figure out what would be the most effective way to understand what it was like coming out and how the label of gay would impact my life. I'm not gay, Will. I came out to my friends, family, everyone, so that I could try to understand. I came here tonight to say I'm so sorry that I deceived you in the process. You're not really gay? He says. I can tell he's processing what I've just told him. No, I'm not, I answer. Will makes a mixed drink for another guy at the bar, and I take deep breaths. Okay, Andrew, girl. Andrew, this is not your platform, bitch. Girl, I don't know if I need to do lip trills or something before I start reading. I need to do some sort of exercise or something, girl, cause my tongue is not supposed to be this heavy, girl. What the fuck going on? Will makes a mixed drink for another guy at the bar, and I take deep breaths. There we go. I was a bigot. I needed to change. I don't know why I decided to do what I've done, but it felt like the only way. So, you came out as gay, right? So you could understand how it changes your family life and social life and faith? Okay, well, I read it was wrong, girl. His tone is even and calm. I don't know if he is upset or angry or okay with what I did. Hold on one second, y'all. I feel a pang in my heart and a sense of sadness comes over me. I look down at my hands before speaking. I can't look him in the eye. Will, I am so incredibly sorry for lying to you this whole year. I feel horrible. Why? Why would you feel horrible? He waits for me to look up, so I see him smiling. I feel a small measure of relief. Did it change you? I mean, honestly change you? Yes, it did. I never understood who I was condemning before, or why it was I was condemning them. I am a different person now. A better person, I think. Then why are you sorry? Why would you apologize for taking the steps necessary to question and overcome your prejudice? He asks. Because I love you and I don't want to lose you as a friend. Come on now, give me more credit than that. Did you really think I wouldn't accept you because you aren't really gay? Will, I lied to you. We are all liars here. Most of us spent years in the closet saying we were straight to everyone we loved. I mean, how is your lie any different? Oh, wow. Will smiles and fills another pint glass with beer. This one is on the house. You have just made my night, so your beer is on me. Thank you. I'm still nervous and shaking, y'all, but Will puts his hand on mine and speaks softly. Tim, what you've done means a lot to me. And it will mean a lot to a lot of people. Be confident in that. And I love you too. I hope so. I'm surprised I didn't see through it, though. I thought my straight dar was better than that. We laugh, and I take a few more deep breaths. I've still got to tell Phil and Ben. I got to tell... Where we at? I've got to tell Phil and Bill still. Phil and Bill. I've got to take Phil and Ben still. Lord, girl. Know where they are? Well, they're outside smoking and talking as usual, he says. Thank you, Will. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I grab my beer and walk towards the other room. You have balls of steel, my friend, he says, flipping a dish towel over his shoulder as I walk to the next room. Jesus. I walk outside and Phil is where I was told he would be. Tim, he shouts. The prodigal son has returned. Well, how are you? I'm great. Ben is in the bathroom, he adds, seeing me looking around. Phil, I need to talk to you, and I need to do it now before I lose my nerve or I'm able to talk myself out of it. Okay, honey, what's wrong? No, nothing, technically. I'm just afraid you'll be angry with me. Well, why? I'm not really gay. I let my words sink in for a minute before telling him everything I told Will. His face registers shock, and he takes a deep breath as he listens. I just wanted to tell you that, excuse me. Girl, okay, girl. Let me take some water, girl, because maybe my tongue is a little dry, girl. Because, baby, weed will suck everything out your ass. I just wanted to tell you that. I'm so sorry for lying to you, and that I hope you will still be my friend. Tim, I don't know what to say. I mean, of course, I'm still your friend, but, just give me a second to wrap my head around what you just told me. He takes a few deep drags from his cigarette, and gulps from his drink. Finally, he says, I'm not mad at you. I'm overwhelmed by what you just said. I know it's a lot to take in. Yes, it is. But, Tim, thank you. A grin spreads widely across his face and he laughs. You just proved to me that what I have always thought about you is true. I mean, to think, you cared so much that you'd make such a mess of your life, just to understand. Wow, I can't imagine. He puts his drink down, ashes his cigarette, and then walks around the small patio table to me and wraps his arms around me. I love you, Tim, and I'm not angry. But thank you for telling me and for doing what you did. I couldn't be mad at you. I mean, other people will be mad at you, to be sure, but I know you, and I know your heart is so big. You know, you, Will, and Ben are the only three I haven't told yet because I was so afraid you'd be angry. I was so scared you would feel betrayed. You were worried about losing me? Wow, that means a lot. Hugging Phil feels like hugging a family member. I feel tears in my eyes and try to compose myself, but it's difficult. I need to tell Ben, and then we'll all catch up, I say. He's at the bar, see? He points through the glass window. Good luck. I begin that short but faded walk to Ben as though I'm just a few... I begin that short but faded walk to Ben as though I'm just a few short steps to complete freedom. The Pharisees looks over, putting his hand on my shoulder, and scowls. His nasty expression reminds me why I want to be rid of him, and why I want to live the rest of my life without his voice lending itself as something more than what it is, a voice of a cruel and critical part of me. I arrived here believing my fears would be justified, but so far they haven't been. The three people I was the most afraid of are here, and two of them have shown me grace. Ben is all that is left between me and the journey of this part of, girl. Ben, I don't know, girl, what is going on? Ben is all that is left between me and the end of this part of my journey. That's it. Go ahead. You can do it. What do you want from me? How does it feel to know that you haven't had to face any retribution for lying to these people? Ease the conscience any? I know that time will come. I know I'll face judgment for this. And you deserve it. But worse than any you're going to face is God's judgment. Like, why do you take so much joy from condemning people for their actions? Why can't you just love people? By telling you the truth, I am showing you love. I always used to say that, but I was blind. Now you can leave me alone. I set the glass down on the table and walk towards the bar. Ben's back is to me. He seems to be in conversation with the bartender. I look over and see Will watching anxiously from the other room. Ben, I say, putting my hand on his shoulder. He turns around and smiles. Hello there, he says. I was just telling a friend about you the other day. That's sweet. If it was good stuff. I laugh nervously. Of course it was all good. So, how are you? I'm well. We really need to talk. Sure, babe. The floor is yours, Ben says, grabbing his glass. He takes a sip from the tiny straw and waits for me to talk. Ben, I need to apologize to you and tell you who I really am. That sounds interesting. What's going on? You are the last person to find this out, but not because I care about you the least. I've been terrified of telling you because I respect you and I love you, and I haven't wanted to lose your friendship. Honey, you don't have to worry about me. There is a real possibility that he will be wrong. I am not really gay. I slapped my hand over my mouth like I did after telling Andrew and Maureen that I was gay. After a few seconds, I lower it. Ben stands with a blank expression on his face and waits. A few seconds pass, and I force myself to speak. I was raised a religious bigot and knew that something was desperately wrong with me. I came out as gay to everyone in my life so I could try to understand the pain and stigma that is attached to the label, and for the past year, I have been living in the closet as straight. Ben says nothing. His face betrays no emotion. As the seconds pass, I feel my heart begin to race. I spent 12 months immersing myself in the community, questioning everything the church taught me, so I could see for, myself, and to the greatest extent I could, understand how the label makes life difficult for anyone who lives with it. I am so sorry for lying to you. I am so afraid of hurting you or angering you. I don't want you to hate me. I feel so much fear and so much apprehension, so much guilt. Why doesn't he say anything? Everything inside me is twisting and nodding as I wait for him to give me some sign that he is either angry or upset. Silence. He puts his glass down on the bar and breathes. I fear the worst. Ben begins to cry. Tears roll down his cheeks like shiny beads, and his lips quiver. He breathes heavily, but still says nothing. And then, as if in a dream, Ben lightly touches my lips with his hand and begins to pray. Lord, be with your servant Tim. Inspire the words that come out of his mouth as he shares the reality of this news with the masses, and as he shares your love and your grace with the masses. He slides his hands to my eyes. Lord, protect his eyes and what he sees. Help him not to see any hatred, but only love as he sets out on this journey of grace. His hand once again moves to my ears. Lord, block his ears from hearing the hateful words directed at him from people in the religious community and from this one. Protect his ears from the words of hate that they'll inevitably speak. His hand moves to my heart. Lord, thank you for this heart. Thank you for the sacrifices he has made. Lord, bless this beautiful heart with every power you possess. Help him never to change, to be jaded, to be hurt. I love you, Lord, and Tim loves you. Thank you for letting us love each other. Amen. Ben pulls me into a hug, and not just a hug, but an embrace. He holds me so tightly, I can feel his heartbeat through my chest. I feel the wetness of his tears on my shoulder as they soak through my shirt. I feel his breathing and shivers rocking through his body. He pulls away for a moment and looks into my eyes, which have been filled with tears too. Timothy, I have never in my life felt so loved by a straight Christian. You have just given me the ultimate gift. You are going to be a force of love and grace for this community, for any community you become part of. He pulls me back into a hug. I look around and see a room of people staring. They are watching the exchange with interest. Then he lets go. We wipe our eyes and blow our noses on the small bar napkins, and we are silent. I look around the room again, and something beautiful happens. The Pharisee is nowhere to be found. He is gone. Something inside of me confirms that he is gone for good. "Who are you looking for?" Ben asks me, his arm still around me. "No one. Just taking all of this in," I reply. I am free. For the next 3 hours, Ben, Phil, and I talk. We talk about God, about our lives, about the experiences we have had that have taught us who we are, and about coming out. Ben tells me, what? It says prides, girl. What? Congratulate. It says prides, girl. I'm gonna read it how it's in the thing. This ain't Andrew right now. Ben prides me. He prides me. Okay. Ben prides me to tell my coming out story, as everyone in our circle has done. He tells me he feels it is. Okay, girl. Hold on. Maybe I need to do that tongue exercise before I read, girl. Cause what is going on? I'm gonna have to hooked on phonics this out, girl. Ben prides me to tell my coming out story as everyone in our circle has done. He tells me he feels it is every bit as valid as anyone else's coming out story. There we go. Thank you, Jesus. For the first time in my life, I am standing in a gay bar, a straight and Christian man, and I am accepted as one of the group without a second thought. I have found a new home and a new family, one that I never imagined I would be part of. My cup runneth over, okay? Ben prayed over me, prayed for my safety and my calling, and when that happened, the Pharisees in me was overcome. I think the Pharisees left me because nothing is left to tie us together. For the first time in a long time, I feel whole. Not because my eyes have been opened to a new way of life, because there is nothing new about this. Love is the original way. I also feel inspired because most of my fears were never realized. I was, in the end, accepted wholly and completely as myself by people who I have only this year learned to accept and to affirm. I leave the bar after tear-filled hugs and goodbyes, and I feel like a different person than I have been before. A better person. I think I am, for the first time, really following Jesus. The relationships I have formed along the way are a blessing. Look, nothing about life is easy, but walking in another person's shoes is essential, because only then can we live with and for each other the way we are meant to. Ubuntu. I am because you are. I have learned something about labels this year. It is the journey that defines us, not the labels people try to associate us with. In the book it says associate with us, or us with girl, whatever. I am not gay Tim. I am not even straight Tim. I am Tim. And in the end, that is all that really matters. And y'all, that's the end of the final chapter, y'all, 35, called The Beginning. Okay? Wow. Now he came out as straight to the gays, and the gays accepted him, girl. Now, if we can only just go ahead and remix that shit around the other way, if it could just be both-sided, if it could just be both-handed, if it could just be equal and loving like that across the board, it would be so much easier. But, girl, we got to make shit more difficult than it is, girl. That's just what we do out of fear. Okay? Now, let's read the epilogue, whatever it's called, girl. And then we're going to go ahead and be done. And then I want to get some of y'all final thoughts about how y'all felt about the book in the comments, because I really want to engage with y'all on this last read through, because y'all been rocking with me. So Miss Donna, I want to hear you, see you in the comments. Spicy, everybody else, I want to see y'all in the comments. Matter of fact, let me look at the comments real quick. Yes, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. And I ain't gonna hold y'all, girl. When I was reading that part where what's name was praying over his ass, girl, when he got to his heart, I started tearing up a little bit, girl. One thing I'm realizing about me, I am an emotional nigga, which means I am balanced. I used to be very over emotional. I didn't have any control over my emotions. I didn't have emotional awareness. Okay, emotional maturity. Okay? But now that I'm tapping into that, baby, I'm going to live my life, girl. And if I feel hit in the spirit to tear the fuck up, I'm going to tear the fuck up. I don't give a damn. Oh, you supposed to be a man, bitch. I'm a balanced one. How about that? The epilogue, whatever. Can you fix my microphone, girl? I can't wait to give me a new setup, girl, because this goddamn microphone arm, girl, is not really it. My experiment ended, but it hasn't finished. I don't think it will ever finish, because every day I am learning more about people and about myself. I am sitting in a cafe in southeast Portland, sipping a latte, and trying to decide what still needs to be said and what is better left off the page. In the 2 years since coming out as straight, I am only now able to process everything that happened. Writing 2 drafts of this book has helped. As I wrote, I was forced back into the memories of people and events that so radically changed me. I wrote about them and felt like I was back in Nashville listening to their stories and enjoying their company. Oddly enough, I feel more capable of loving them now than ever, and I feel closer to them somehow, even with the distance. 4 months after my second coming out, I decided to leave the nest once and for all. Nashville became too small, and leaving felt like the only tangible option. I packed up my Hyundai, he's coming in the Hyundai, and set out to Portland, having never ever visited the Pacific Northeast. It was the most therapeutic journey of my life, and my pilgrimage from the east to west was a healing experience. The friends that I made during my year have more than kept in touch. Sean and I are closer than we've ever been. Weeks and months may pass in between conversations, yet somehow we know that the role we have played in one another's life has solidified into something beautiful, a lifelong friendship. Likewise, my childhood friend, Will, has continued to be an endless source of encouragement, and seeing his face when I visit home is almost something that warms my heart. I have been blessed by the honesty and trust we share. He has never held my experiment against me. If anything, it has strengthened our bond, and I am honored to be part of his life. Lindsay Hawkins, aka Samantha Zander, is now married to her soulmate, Jesse. She has become my mentor in non-violence activism, and every so often when we talk, I still, this is fictitiously try to convince her to have an affair with me. You know, I will always, I know we will always be close, and that our paths will always run parallel. She has made me a better man and a better human, and no one has ever set an higher example of peacemaker for me to aspire to. And Elizabeth, my childhood pastor's daughter, has also become an unexpected sister. Excuse me. We met so randomly towards the end of my experiment, and I am thankful for that. She and Nicole married soon after my move to Portland, and both are flourishing in their faith and their marriage. And then there's my best friend Josh. No one in my life has ever invested in me the way Josh has. Josh is my brother, and none of this would have happened if he hadn't been, if it hadn't, if, and none of this would have happened if it hadn't been for his unyielding support and endless encouragement. My relationship with my family has also been reconciled. My mother, once an adamant conservative, is now an ally to the LGBT community. Girl, we need to know more what you do, girl, before she say ally, girl, because again, people throwing that word around. Girl, what you do? She and I have walked into this world with grace together, and her friendship is priceless. I love my mom. Her strength and passion for people is my North Star. It guides me and inspires me, and I owe her so much more than I could ever hope to express. Girl, we need to see the fruits of the labor, girl. She at the event, she talking to these people, girl. What she doing? Is she walking with you? Shortly after my move to Portland, my sister-in-law, Maureen, gave birth to my first nephew, and I have never been as proud of my brother as I am seeing him as a dad. We have more than reconciled. We have bonded together as a family, and I still look to him as a hero and one of my closest friends. Our family has lived in a perpetual state of transition for the past 8 years, but now, as things settle down, I am filled with gratitude. We have made it through so much, and I am thankful to God for his endless mercy. In the past 2 years, I've continued to immerse myself in the LGBT plus world. I've attended churches, both conservative and open and affirming. I have participated in Pride Days and AIDS walks, where I still saw not one conservative mainstream church president. Okay, girl.
That's one thing. And
You wanted it?
Okay, girl. And my community of friends has never been more diverse. I am in tune with people for the first time in my life. I feel the pulse, them in the pulse of Portland, inside myself, and I am thankful that God has taught me how to love. We live in a society that condones culture wars and even proudly proclaims them. But as with any type of war, there are casualties. And those casualties are not people we can afford to lose. The sanctity of human life that I have been taught about, all of my life, doesn't just apply to a fetus inside its mother's womb. It applies to all living and breathing men and women. It applies to me and to you. It applies to the murderer on death row and to the 5th grade school teacher that faithfully teaches children day in and day out. It doesn't get to choose who it's made with. The, girl, what is that? Imago Dei? That's what it says, girl, in italics. The image of God. And we don't have the right to choose who we are called to love. For years, I have been living on a self-created mountain of moral absolutism. And thankfully, my year taught me that life is not what Christ has called me to. So let me read that again, girl, because I didn't say that right. For years, I have been living on a self-created mountain of moral absolutism. And thankfully, my year taught me that that life is not what Christ has called me to. Since my year ended, I have struggled daily with one question. Where do I belong? And now I feel I know the answer. As a Christ follower, I am called to live in the wounds that my mountain has created. Ooh, wow. It goes beyond living in the tension because it means living within the hearts of others, walking with them in the ever deepening of their pain. And if I am ever to fully emulate Jesus, then I must live in the blood and gore that the church has created, that I created. I have heard the question posed, at what point can one be an ally to the queer community? I think for me, being an ally means that I must shift my focus off of my perceived moral imperative and live in community and relationship with all people. I must sacrifice and serve without the condition of labels and without worrying how it would make me look. And while all of this may sound like the typical ranting of a now liberal Christian, let's not use that word here, or around here, that word, I challenge you to see past these labels. My mother said it best towards the end of my year. She looked at me and said in earnest, I don't think Satan is the father of lies. I think he is the father of labels. Oh!
In the name of Jesus, you be made whole by the power of God.
Baby, that was a what? I don't think Satan is just. Oh, I read it wrong. Just a father of lies, girl. But still hit. I don't think Satan is just a father of lies. I think he's a father of labels. It's still added in, girl. It still hit the spirit, girl. That was a read right there, girl. Ooh. And I have to agree. I am Tim. Okay, I'm just Tim. After 2 decades of trying to define and categorize myself and everyone else around me, that is the only label that I choose to keep. It's funny how names are underrated. The world seems to be addicted to labels. Steve the lawyer, Josh the rapper, Renee the lesbian, Methodist minister. Every name has to be paired with something greater or more recognizable than itself. Before I started writing this book, I always dreamed of being Tim the writer. And now that I have actually written a book, I think my name will do. Names are what this ended up being about. This has been my journey from Tim the writer to just Tim. It's also how Steve the lawyer, Josh the rapper, and Renee the lesbian, Methodist minister, named Josh, Steve, and Renee. I think that is all that matters. As a Christian, oftentimes, people expect me to have the answers. And in my pride, I'd like to think I do. I can't help it. I was raised Baptist. But there are certain things I'll never have an answer for. I may never again be confident that my truth is absolute. and I doubt I will ever be able to take definitive stands on certain ideas that seem to divide everyone else. There are issues that conservatives rally behind and those outside the church rally against, and I may never be 100% either way. I will never understand how people that claim to love Christ can bully someone to death, nor will I understand why certain people among us allow their self-destructive natures to guide them towards a reckless abuse of alcohol, power, or sex. I will never understand hate in the many forms it takes. It is a cruel shapeshifter and an evil master. All said, there are a few things I am sure of, and in the context of my own life, I feel blessed. I am sure of love, of the radical and unyielding power it holds, and I'm sure of the barriers it can overcome. I am sure of relationships, especially those fueled by love, and sure of those prejudices that relationships can overcome. I am sure of my God, who I believe more than ever sent his son for me, and I am sure of the reconciliation he offers, whether that be between family splits, whether that be between family split apart over diversive issues, or members of opposing political parties. I am sure of the beauty that all mankind has inherited, a beauty that can never be stripped away by bad words or deeds or even other human beings. I am sure of the arrogance and its ability to poison anything that can be called good. Most of all, I am sure of my teacher, empathy, who taught me that if we were to take a moment to step into another person's shoes before we open our mouths, we can learn more about this life and our God than by any other means. She is our greatest tool, operating hand in hand with love to create something dazzling, something that gives our breaths meaning. Until this year, I never quite understood why the LGBT plus community adopted the rainbow as a symbol for its existence. Diversity, unity, and promise. A rainbow is said to express these ideals, but I believe it was chosen for an entirely different reason. I believe it was chosen because, above all else, a rainbow is beautiful, and everyone desires to be thought of as beautiful. For years, I lived colorblind in a world of rainbows, ignorant to the beauty all around me. And for the first real time, the words from my favorite hymn have meaning and are alive to me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Maybe beauty really is in the eye of the beholder, and whether or not we see it is the choice. Maybe it is the only choice that matters. After all, we did it. We did it. We did it. Yay! We have finished the cross in the closet. How do y'all feel? Let me know in the comments. It ain't got to be a long paragraph, but just let me know, how do y'all feel about this whole experience? What do you believe? What do you believe? I'll just say that. What do y'all think? This book Let me put the other instrument on. I'm glad it ended. Oh, I got the same one on. Did I put on that one? I did. Okay, good. That's the one I like anyway. That's like my favorite one. Background. This is why, with everything that I do, and I do mean everything that I do, I'm learning to approach it with love. And the reason why for me self-love is important because, again, you make the choice to see what the only real option is, which is color. Not color in the way that we have deemed it to be in America, but color in reference to humanity. How there's so much, again, my two favorite words, girl, context and nuance. So many intersections and amalgamation of colors that represents all of us as humanity. One of the labels or underlying themes, shall I say, excuse me, in this book besides love was fear. This book is dated. This book came out like in the late 2000s. And reading this book in 2023 and seeing that we are still in the same position as far as the hate that is being spewed, we as human beings keep missing the mark, but we don't have to. One thing I had to realize too is that with fear, people have a choice. You have free will to do what you want. And there are some people who are going to always choose the fear narrative. Look at the conversation that happened at Westboro when Tim showed up to talk to them, and how he was met with such nasty resistance, but they were just responding to what it is that they knew. And in my self-love journey, I'm learning to not really make things personal, because at the end of the day, everything comes to an end. And I love how in this book, he was able to show all of the facets of the human experience, from fear to love. How there were many times where, excuse me, where Tim literally wanted to walk out, wanted to give up on the experiment, felt like he failed, and that's the thing, like, y'all heard the saying, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. We have to be careful. Because Tim, in his mind, thought, oh, okay, I'm going to have this. I already know how this going to work out. Like, I don't know, but at the same time, I do know. I know what my limits are. I know what my boundaries are. But as he continued to walk down the path of Christ, how really this shit is. And I had a wise mystic told me, girl, and it's true. When you do this self-love stuff and you start waking up, girl, you cannot go back. As much as you would love to go back, as comfortable as it would be to go back, as familiar as it would be to go back, but you've already risen up out of that and you're going forward. You know what going back means. And even in this, you know what? I'll even make it and take it to another level off of this damn book, this live. The whole situation with BubzDaGawd, and the reason why I'm bringing him up is because I'm using things as a springboard. It continues to help me humanize people who are struggling to see human in me. And like I said, having personal conversations with him on the back end and reading this book, it just reveals to me even more how fear plays a part. And how if I'm going to walk down the path of Christ and self-love, that I will have to learn how to love the human inside other people who don't see it in me. Now, yes, I'm gonna do the BubzDaGawd way, girl, so you know it's gonna be a little bit of shade, bitch. We gay. It is what it is. But ultimately, the foundation is love. And I'm grateful for that opportunity and those experiences, because it gives me a chance to continue to do that. Here it is, the one. And it just gags me how, like, in this book, how these people, and now don't get me wrong, there are some people in the community, the queer community, who are angry, who are bitter, who are jaded, who are all these things. But it also showed the other side of the queer community who healed from their traumas, or who are actively healing and they're aware of it. How there were people who objectively dealt with rejection from family members, friends, society, and still have the heart to open up to other people and love them. Tim Ass was scared as hell of coming out of the closet again as himself. He entered the closet to understand, and now he's coming out as himself. And he was so afraid to lose all these wonderful people, and he ain't lose not near one. You wanna know why? Because empathy. When you start aligning your mind and your heart together, your thoughts and your emotions together through love, baby, it will cover all types of quote unquote mistakes, inconsistencies, girl, isms, crimes. Look at my ass, girl. Andrew Caldwell was trying to, he was riding all up and through this goddamn read through the whole series. The whole damn book, he was all up through this motherfucker. But did that stop me? No. I found a way to transmute that shit to where, bitch, we all gonna be laughing at this motherfucker, girl. Y'all not laughing with me, girl. Y'all laughing with me. There's a difference, and I get to control that narrative. Do you know what I'm saying? And I wish people would read this book, like, because this book calls Christians to the mat. And it low-key calls gays to the mat too. It's calling humanity to the mat. How about that? But in order for us to get to humanity, we have to deal with the labels, and deal with the labels in love. Because what I'm seeing is both sides saying, oh, well, you do this. Oh, well, y'all ain't doing that, so why should I do this? Oh, well, y'all do your part. Do your part. All you can do is your part anyway. Do your part, and the universe will do the rest. Spicy said the way he lost people coming out as gay, but the way he came out as straight, he lost no one. We as humanity needs to start looking at each other a lot more lovingly. Because this ain't it. What we're doing now is not it. We live in a society at large that is so caught up in pain, and I'll try to put pain and fear together and say peer. Pain and fear and jealousy. And there are people in positions of power that got money that feel this way. And I feel like I can't even really say the words or find the words to really say, because it's like at the end of the day, it's all about experience. And even this book is just like the Bible. It's not the truth within itself. It's a signpost to the truth. It is the tools necessary in order for you to discover the truth, and that truth is hidden within yourself. And that's why I be gagging a lot of times when it comes down to the Bible and religion, because it's like we are literally missing the part that Christ talked about. The fact that we will subscribe to every other idea and try everything else out before we try love, and love is the last resort. What? When Christ literally said two things that was so universal that it transcends the damn religion. It taps into the human family, to love the Lord God, to love yourself, because you are God in your own life. You're not the God, but you're a God in your life. And we've been taught to look for God outside of us instead of inside, which is why you have people who believe that, you know, queer people can't. You heard what that one woman said at the Westboro? God, you talking about God like you? You're a fire. God hates you. Girl, what? But to love yourself and to do unto others as you want them to do unto you. It's so simple. It's kind of crazy that we live in a world today where just simply holding open the door will brighten someone's day. What does that say about us? To pay attention to somebody and ask them how their day is, and that be the highlight of their day. What's wrong with us? Why are we not more familial? Why are we not more community based? Hell, even in the LGBTQ plus community, we got a lot of shit going on. It's just there are groups of people who are hurting. And we've had this whole idea of having victory over other groups of people because we will feel better about ourselves, as opposed to just doing what I would consider would be the right and just thing, which is to reconcile. That's it. But I don't know, y'all. Queen Donna said he really took a journey through his sexuality, eye-opener to the world and him. Yep, and stuck. Yeah, we're stuck in our own world until our little bubble that we've created for ourselves has been busted. And then we look around and see everybody else's bubble is busted. And it's like I said before, why does it take destruction a lot of times for us to put the shit down, girl? Like, if it take destruction for us to put the shit down, I mean, it's going to take destruction for us to put the shit down, because the universe is matching energy. That's why I said do unto others, girl, because whatever you put out, you're going to get that back. And that's no cap. But humanity still has a lot of work to do. We're obviously not really learning from history. We're not really trying to move forward. And if humanity does not move forward, girl, Mother Nature will move us forward. And once Mother Nature moves us forward, she ain't got no problem at all, at all, removing the labels. Do you understand me? By force. Okay, when The Walking Dead and The Last of Us manifest in real life, girl, I don't want to hear nothing. I'm gonna just say, look, girl, I'm cussing y'all out. If y'all want love, girl, y'all can read The Cross in the Closet, bitch. I done gave y'all that. No shade. But anyway, thank y'all so much for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Buzz, hit the clock on that. Oh, Lord, I hope you ain't late. Oh, Lord. You could hit the replay, Queen Donna. But thank you. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Donna, because she was the one that reminding me like, Bubs, you gonna finish this read through or no? Because you giving commentary on homophobia and transphobia and queerphobia and all type of stuff inside the community and outside, girl. You gonna get back to this book? And I'm glad I did, because the next time when I start having conversations with people, I'm going to ask them about this book, because I'm having people send me, have you read the books in Florida that they trying to ban? They trying to ban all these queer books and stuff like that. Okay, well, I feel like I need to add this book to the list. Not of banned books, but of books to consider. But I think any book that holds people accountable and brings a greater awareness to somebody, they're not going to want that shit on there anyway, girl. But that's the thing about the truth. Again, the truth will set you free, girl. It's the truth. But yes, shout out to Queen Donna. Shout out to Queen Spicy. Shout out to King Aries. Who else we got up in here? Shout out to Queen. I said Amber, right? Did I say Amber? No, I didn't. Queen Amber. Shout out to Queen Stevie. Shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to the replay gang. Please hit the like button. Okay? It's free, $99. You ain't gotta subscribe if you don't want to, but goddamn, you can at least hit the thumbs up button. Don't be a hating ass person all your life, girl. Look at the thumbs button through love. Okay? Now, if you have a higher awareness of love, girl, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and click all to make sure that you are notified for all of my lives. No matter how late they might be, you can still get them, at least on the replay. Okay? And if you're feeling, you know, the holies of love, girl, you can hit my Cash App at the bottom of the screen. Girl, I am getting all of my blessings in all of the intersections, girl, through likes, through subscriptions, and monetarily, girl. Okay, and this is just the beginning. I'm so excited for what's in store for me, both on YouTube and off of YouTube. The universe is working. It's working in small ways, but it's working. Hell, I'm small, girl. Look at what I possess. So I'm not going to trip if the universe shows up like a leprechaun as well, because we can relate. All right? Thank y'all so much for being with me and rocking with me as we conclude the finale, okay, closing of The Cross and the Closet. Thank you so much, Timothy Kurek, for this experiment. You need a Nobel Peace Prize. You need to be showing up at churches all around the world, especially in today's world. We need somebody viral to pick up this book and read it so that the masses can read it and educate themselves. I feel like this should be one of the standards when it comes to theology, girl. Like, it's one thing to read about what these people did 2,000 years ago, but can we at least also acknowledge that the Christ energy is still happening to this day? Let's highlight that. Let's highlight that as well. Okay? And I'm going to leave y'all one last time. It's the end. Oh. The end of this read through with our residential outro song entitled Language of Tears, to Be Slayed rendition. You are covered in love. No matter what happens, you are covered in love. Don't ever, 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 ever forget that. You are worthy of the best. Because I'm getting my best. And I hope we all can get our best. So thank y'all again. And I will see y'all again for another live. I don't know when, but I'll be seeing you. Peace.
Feeling so lonely, feeling so down when you need someone. No one's there to be found. The pain inside can't be expressed verbally, so you cry on your pillow. You don't know what you're saying, but I know an interpreter of tears. And when your voice you cry, it lends an open ear. Oh, God understands the language of tears. It knows all about shoulder to cry on. God understands your tears. You can't keep it bottled inside, so just let it out. In God you confide. That's what He's there for. He knows all your pain. It's alright to cry. Trouble come in the morning, but I'm no interpreter of your tears. When your voice will cry, there's no ear. Oh, God understands the language of tears. He knows all about all your pains and your fears. When you're right and you're wrong, when your friends are gone, He's a shoulder to cry on. God understands your tears. He understands the language of tears. Oh, the language of tears. Not crying so many tears. When you're right and when you're wrong, when your friends are gone, He's a shoulder to cry on. God understands your tears. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He knows all about your pain. Oh, yes, He does. He understands your tears. It's alright to cry. Oh, Jesus, you can cry.